Nikola Jokic is possibly the greatest enigma in NBA history. The dude looks more like an oversized employee at Best Buy than an NBA star. He's slow, he can't jump over a phone book, and during interviews he sounds like a man who'd rather be riding horses than shooting a basketball. Yet the Serbian big man recently won his third MVP award, and he already has a championship to his name. By doing so, he joined the list of only 6 other NBA legends that accomplished these feats before age 30. The other players on that list? MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Moses Malone, Bill Russell, and the great Larry Bird. Not bad company. And to say his analytic stats are outrageous would be a vast understatement. Joker has accumulated more triple-doubles before age 30 than any player in NBA history besides Oscar Robertson, or than Wilt, Magic, or LeBron. Some of the most athletically gifted super freaks to ever step foot on the court. So how does this hunkering phenom do it? Well, he's actually gifted with a wide range of athletic gifts that are so subtle and unconventional that most fans and analysts don't even recognize, which we'll dive right into. But first, if you're a massive sports fan who's into scouting athletes and sports analytics, the sponsor of this video might have a really exciting opportunity for you. Have you ever found yourself daydreaming about working in sports instead of sitting at your desk all day? Well, maybe it's time to make that dream your game plan. We here at Sports Insight are thrilled to partner with Southern New Hampshire University, or SNHU, with their incredible online sports management program. We're super excited to share how SNHU can kickstart your career in sports management. Imagine turning your passion for sports into a successful career without leaving your home. SNHU's program covers everything from sports economics to management principles. You'll learn directly from experienced faculty who are deeply embedded in the sports world. Graduates are prepared for roles like athletic director, sports information director, and marketing manager. Imagine overseeing sports programs or crafting major marketing campaigns for sports teams. You might even qualify for financial aid or transfer existing college credits. Visit snhu.edu/RSI to see if you qualify for SNHU's sports management program and to get started on your dream career today. Now back to the topic at hand. As we mentioned earlier, Jokic has a wide array of intricate skills that have enabled him to reinvent the center position. Of course, he can pass, shoot, and rebound. We all know that. But what we want to get further into is how he accumulates these stats with an athletic profile that totally defies scouting norms. Josh Kroenke, the Nuggets owner, told a very interesting story about how the team found Joker and when they realized he was special. The scouting staff found this 7-footer in Europe, and his unique passing ability and sheer size made him quite entertaining to watch. Yet since his playing style was so unique, it remained incredibly uncertain how his game would translate on the NBA floor. For that reason, he got passed over by every single team in the first round of the draft. Jokic wasn't selected by the Nuggets until the second round, 41st overall. That makes him the only MVP in league history to ever fall out of the first round. To think NBA scouts drafted bona fide busts like Mitch McGary over the legendary Nikola Jokic and get paid for it. But Jokic wasn't the only big man that the Nuggets got their hands on at the 2014 draft. They also made a trade to select Jusuf Nurkic, a more highly touted 7-footer from Bosnia, who at the time profiled quite similarly. During their first couple of seasons, they both showed promise, but with the league transitioning to the spacing and three-point shooting era, it was impossible for the Nuggets to deploy both centers on the floor at the same time. So they decided that they had to pick one to keep as the starting center of the future and would trade the other for assets. The Nuggets analytics department dissected the two players and came back with an unexpected response. While Nurkic showed some promise, they told upper management that Jokic's numbers trumped those of the legendary Larry Bird on an equal minutes basis. At the time, the report seemed outlandish, but still forced the Nuggets to insert Jokic into the starting lineup, and he never looked back. Now Bird actually serves as a statistical comparison to Jokic, though analytics will tell you that the Serbian might be even more valuable to his team. It sounds crazy, and we're not disrespecting Larry Bird, who won 3 championships and 3 MVPs during his illustrious career, but instead we're just shouting out how great Jokic truly is. While Larry Bird averaged more points per game during his career, Jokic actually averages more points on a per 36-minute basis. Jokic also averages significantly more assists and rebounds. Sure, fans will dispute that the pace of basketball has drastically changed since the 80s, which enables players today to post superior counting stats than those during Bird's era. But analytics stats indicate that Jokic is also significantly more efficient and effective than Bird was. His field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage, and true shooting percentage are all higher than Bird's were throughout his career. And Jokic puts up these numbers by shooting significantly more three-pointers per game than Bird did. We can keep going. There's a widely used stat called player efficiency rating, which measures how productive a player is per minute in all facets of the game. And guess what? Jokic's PER isn't only better than Bird's, he has the highest PER of any NBA player in history. The second highest ever is Michael Jordan, and third is LeBron. So even if you don't think analytics tell the whole story, you can't argue that he's not in the elite company. He's also got the best box plus minus of all time, the most win shares per 48 minutes, and has the highest value over replacement player rating in the NBA for 4 consecutive seasons. The long and short is that this guy is an analytics god. So how does he do it? Well, for starters, people might not realize how damn coordinated Jokic is for a 7-foot, nearly 300-pound beast. While he looks clunky, he's got some of the softest and quickest hands in the league. Much like a tight end in football, his size and hands make him a matchup nightmare. Jokic has the one-of-a-kind ability to shield off defenders with his massive frame and catch balls that other players would struggle to corral. And he doesn't just catch them. He catches them in full control with his head up and ready to make the next play in a split second. This unique skill enables him to dictate pace and control the game in a totally revolutionary way. You'll see defenders take a moment to brace themselves as soon as the ball gets in Jokic's hands, and in that moment, before they're even set, he can quickly dart off a pass to one of his teammates. And since they have such great chemistry, the Nuggets fully realize Jokic's abilities, so they make screens and cuts before the ball is even in Jokic's hands. Before you know it, he's already hit Aaron Superman Gordon for a dunk or Michael Porter coming off a pin down for an open three. This quickness is extremely hard for opponents to get used to and allows the Nuggets to use timing and precision to run an offense unlike any other in NBA history. Beyond his soft hands and quickness that makes him so elite as a passer, he's also got precision footwork that he works in unison. What's special about Jokic's footwork is that he never leaves the ground. He's always balanced, controlled, and sturdy. While verticality and explosiveness have often been associated with dominance, particularly on the boards, Jokic defies that logic. Much like Luka Doncic and Dallas, Jokic barely jumps. Scouts are finally starting to realize that in a league full of speedsters and leapers, it can sometimes be the low man that has the advantage. When players jump to make a play, he uses his massive frame to move them while they're unbalanced to create rebounds and get to his spots. This unique combination of skills is the reason that Jokic grabs so many boards on both sides of the floor. And when you have the most efficient player in the league per possession, who also ensures that his team gets more possessions than their opponents, you're talking about a player that's incredibly hard to beat. These atypical skills also allow Jokic to be an elite defender, contrary to common perception. Since he's slow and flat-footed, people would expect that he'd be a defensive liability in a league that values speed and switchability on the defensive end. But Jokic defies that logic. Since he's so strong, never leaves the ground, and has such impeccable timing, he frequently alters shots without fouling. And while he might not be an elite shot blocker, he uses his coordination and quick hands to get more steals and clean contests than you might realize. If his opponent misses, as mentioned, he's likely the one cleaning up the garbage, as evident by the fact that he finished third in the league in defensive rebounding this season. He also ranked fourth in defensive rating and first in the entire league in defensive box plus minus. But lastly, we need to dissect Jokic's greatest gift of them all, his big ol' basketball brain. LeBron James and JJ Redick discussed this thoroughly in their popular podcast, Mind the Game. They went into detail about an ability that they referred to as court mapping. Court mapping is basically an understanding of where every player on the court is and how they'll react to different actions on the court. Jokic's mind works like a computer that's just more powerful and faster than his opponents. He has a keen understanding of spacing and tendencies. Jokic isn't just thinking one step ahead, he's 3 or 4 steps ahead. So basically, he can look at the floor and make a detailed chess move all at once that moves multiple pieces into different positions to create an opening or a mismatch. He's got incredible self-awareness. So like a computer, he reads the court and knows which opportunity to exploit that gives his team the highest percentage look on every possession. Not only that, but he knows every other player's strengths, weaknesses, and tendencies on both teams. It's pretty remarkable. So this guy's just manipulating the floor to his advantage like he's got telekinesis. And it's one thing to have this ability, but a whole other thing to have the focus to read the game and be so disciplined on every single possession, which Jokic is. Though he seems relaxed and nonchalant out there, he's actually a bona fide killer. Mental toughness and approach are all a part of basketball IQ, knowing when to step up the intensity and when to stay level-headed. Jokic might be the best and most disciplined in the league right now with the perfect balance. No man, I don't care who you are, can make the right reads and plays on every possession throughout an 82-game season and then through the playoffs without having an insatiable hunger to win. And Jokic totally has that, even if he doesn't always show it. At this point, there's little doubt that he's the best player in the NBA, but when it's all said and done, who knows? His resume could end up indicating that he's even better than that. Jokic's stats are already on par with the greatest to ever play, the LeBrons, the MJs, and the Magics. So hate all you want, but we're going to have to see just how long he can keep this up and how much more hardware he can lock up along the way. We here at Sports Insight are hoping for the guy. He might not have the fandom of other greats, but his game is like poetry in motion. And he's so peculiar that it makes him the ultimate underdog in the grand scheme of things. But we want to know what you guys think. Where does Jokic rank among the greatest players of all time? And where will he rank by the time his career is finished? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports news and insights. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.